Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Misham innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Preparations complete, mother... let's do it! The final trial. Something inside me, rising, surfacing. Something important, lost long ago. It's close now, so close. October 9th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atrocinine poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any moment. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. You can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm going to give Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. Objection! Bitch, please. But Vera was poisoned with the atrocinine. The exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What do you mean? We haven't even done anything yet. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself, fool. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. Uh-huh. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I've got 2 things to prove here. Who did it, and how? Which to hit first? I mean, I think I know exactly who and how. I think. How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I will focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. If the defense is prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Misham? I'm pretty sure, because we're pretty sure that Christoph Gavin is the one who did the poisoning. The only means he would have had to do the poisoning with was this. Because she uses the same nail polish he does. How he poisoned it, when he poisoned it, I don't know. But I would assume this is the way he did it.
Take that!
What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Oh my god. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it. As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails, dude. No. Know any women with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails. I see, so she's been painting them all this time. Can this judge just retire already? Come on, man. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying in court? Or to the court? Court is now back in session. She was chewing on her fingers. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off, yeah. I was gonna say, if she's chewing on her fingers at all, then that's how the poison got administered, even if it wasn't on purpose. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails? Ah! Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Aye. Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice. Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes, Your Honor. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this, bitch? No, just checking. Yeah, you do. Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation here. Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Misham via her nail polish? It was this dickbag. He may have done it a long time ago, but it was definitely this dickbag. What's this? Christoph Gavin?
Objection!
What's your game? My bro? There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. I knew he was going there. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. Get fucked, boy. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, please begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. Alright, bring his bitch ass out. On trial again, douchebag, here we go. Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's gonna be hilarious because I'm doing the same voice for two guys, but guess what? They're twins, so I don't give a shit. Well, did they say they were twins or just brothers? I feel like they just said they're brothers, but they looked fucking identical, so whatever. Clavier is going to need a change of clothes after all the sweating he's gonna be doing during this case. I know, right? Or maybe he just needs less clothes. You ever think about that? Less clothes works. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it! Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadone nail polish? Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet! And was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Mission was poisoned. Poison! 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 Atroquinine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. He's like, fuck that! You're being accused again, by him again. Ah, and you agree with this accusation, do you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Mission. Please testify on this matter to the court. Yeah, let's get derailed by something that happened in court yesterday and not the whole point of the reason why we're here in the first place. But obviously that'll lead us there, so let's get there. Poisoning Vera. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then she attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too? Yeah, actually I am. But we'll get there. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Missions. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Missions. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention why. When and why is pretty obvious to me. But how am I going to prove it? Let's find out. By pressing everything. Ooh. We also have the perception bracelet ready to go. But let's press everything. Tell me, is this nail polish expensive? Ariadone is a nail polish of the highest order. Not only is it fabulously expensive, but it is made in extremely limited quantities. And you and Vera just happen to both use it? That can't be a coincidence. I'm guessing it's not a coincidence. Huh? It's simple. Ariadone is the best nail polish one can buy, correct? Then if one wanted the best nail polish, one would buy it. That makes sense. Why, it's a bit like my feelings toward my brand name Gavel here. And my silk top hat. Are we all done showing off our refined tastes? Please, continue with your tasteful testimony. What's tasteful about it? I don't know. Yes, it is his mother's bracelet, but it's Apollo's bracelet. He got it from his mama. He just don't know it yet. Well, I guess he technically does know it yet, if he knows everything he just learned from Phoenix. But anyway. Alright, he's been in there for a year. How could he have done it? I don't know. Pressing. Can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary? So he had an accomplice on the outside. Is this your latest accusation? I am allowed a certain modicum of letter writing. But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request. Prosecutor Gavin's on the warpath, isn't he? Yeah, you think so too, Trucy? I bet I know why. He must be nervous with Big Brother watching. And maybe that's a weakness I can turn to my advantage. Are we cool with that? May I continue? Alright, keep pressing. The defendant is not dead yet. There are no known cases of someone surviving atroquinine poisoning. You seem to know a lot about atroquinine, bitch. I know a lot about a lot of things, which is why I suggest we pick up the pace, or else you'll be short one defendant, for what she's worth. The witness will refrain from speaking ill of the ill. My apologies. Shall I continue? Prosecution cases hold. Does it, though? Does it, though? Vera had no reason to want to commit suicide.
And also, who would commit suicide by doing their nails?
The answer's quite simple, basically. Allow me to explain, beginning with, why did she do it? The answer's quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish to poison herself? This, too, is simple. So she could die doing something that she liked.
Something that she liked?
Once she saw that the trial wasn't going her way, she knew she would die. And it's not easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Must I explain further? I believe that's clear enough. Crystal clear.
Wow, the two brothers together is like a two-man wrecking team. They could use a little more teamwork, though. They're not that scary yet. They haven't done anything to fuck me over. I'm just pressing on everything because I can, bitch. Surely you don't think I was responsible.
Hold
it! Both Vera and Mr. Mission were poisoned with atropine. That really can't be a coincidence.
The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on conjecture. The prosecution requests a concrete, unambiguous proof of the witness's crime. Objection sustained. The defense will please present concrete proof.
Does Prosecutor Gavin seem strange to you, too? It's like he's all grown up. I think that's how prosecutors are supposed to be, actually. Though he is acting different than usual. I'll bet it has a lot to do with his brother Kristoff being in the room. Well, let's make this testimony count, Apollo. Right. Quickly and painless. My bracelet should do the trick. Okay, I'm questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight, but he's lying. I'm sure I'll be able to see something, as long as I focus. Alright, so which line do I think he's lying on the most? Is probably the last one. This one. So I'm going to perceive this one, since he does have a different expression here as well, and see if I can find something. So his eyes... Okay, his eyes are not doing anything interesting. His hands aren't doing anything. Wait. Oh. Hello, pulsating vein. Let me see that again. Let me see that again. There it is. Her father too? Booyah! He did say it, her father too. Anyway, that's the spot. Also, look at his fist. Look at his hand. Look at his hand. It's a demon face. It even has the scar across it and everything. Motherfucker.
Gotcha!
Gotcha, bitch! Sorry. I was chewing some skin off my lip. It was, you who killed Drew Mission, motherfucker.
A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright.
Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news.
And let's assume for the sake of argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too?
Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth.
Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is.
But you found a way, all the same. And I found it, too. This is how you poison Mr. Misham. We already know. It's with the fucking stamp, dude. We actually have the stamp here, so we can just throw the stamp at him, right?
Take that!
I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Atroquinine was found on the stamp, Mr. Gavin.
So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon?
Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell, motherfucker. Hell yeah. What you gonna do now, ho? What you gonna do now, ho? That is all, Your Honor.
Order! 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 Poison on the back of that stamp?
After Drew Mission was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy! That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That's how you killed him.
What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yeah, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote.
He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp.
What are you getting at?
What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence?
So the point is we have to prove that he sent the stamp in the first place. The fact that he used the stamp doesn't mean... We haven't proven that Gavin gave him the stamp in the first place. Kristoff. I should call him Kristoff because we have two Gavins in the room. Kristoff is the one that sent the stamp in the first place, and that's what we got to prove.
He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What? Yeah, no shit, Apollo. You aren't there yet.
Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now.
He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Kristoff Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Kristoff. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you, but the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Kristoff. What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin?
Oh shit, are we about to tag team the witness? Like old school fucking Phoenix and Edgeworth style and just fucking tag team the shit out of him until they give us the truth and get the real fucking victim, or the real victim, the real culprit fucked, you know what I mean?
Forehead, what was your accusation again?
Huh? Oh, it was that
this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would have used the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all.
Coincidence?
Kristoff, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Kristoff. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice?
What?
You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive! He's talking about a motive!
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter.
Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So, what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive.
A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about this vital.
That's pretty vital.
Well, Mr. Justice.
I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
Let's see what you have for us. What reason did Kristoff Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham?
I think I know, but let me talk to... the DJ's got to go to mini meetings today. Alright, yeah, you're going to have to catch up on the VOD then, sir. You have good meetings. Maybe we'll catch you later, maybe we won't. But you'll have to catch the video later. So, okay, what reason would he want for wanting Drew Misham dead? Well, the reason why he would want him dead is because he knew about the counterfeit, and he knew that he was the one that did the Like the letter itself, right? Can we even look at the letter? No clues here. It won't let me like look at the actual letter, will it? There's an address on here and a name I've never heard of. At least I think so. It's too blurry to read. Okay. Even the name's too blurry, huh? This stamp. It's of the Grammys, isn't it? Why did Mr. Wright give me this letter right before the trial? What could it mean? It's the yellow letter, homie. But we can't actually look at the letter. Okay. So, what reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? Because Drew knew about the whole forged evidence thing. The forged evidence? Do we just present the forged evidence? I guess I could just do that. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place.
And why is that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammary's diary.
Wow. He can't fucking think that his wife uses nail polish, but he can fucking remember something from 7 years ago right off the fucking top of his head? Sure. Sure.
Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes? This was the evidence he presented to his loss.
This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery he be made? That was never proven.
The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they?
Just out of curiosity. Do you remember this letter? Absolutely, I do. This is the first page. And this is the second page.
Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery.
The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old!
7 years old?
The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything, and anyone with connections to the forgery.
To keep them from talking?
But he made a mistake. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. I mean, we pretty much already had this down in the first part of the trial. We just needed to figure out who sent it, and well, it was Gavin. It was Christoph Gavin.
Forehand, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp, and it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright.
So now we're going to try to throw this at Phoenix. Here we go. Sorry, but that's not how this is going down, home motherfucker.
Oh, then how will it go down?
I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, old boy. Here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand I am asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough.
Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. That's true.
The day before?
Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? You know, this is a detail we didn't talk about. Who was his attorney before Phoenix took over? But certainly makes a lot of sense.
No, this can't all be...
But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar.
It was you!
Christoph Gavin, motherfucker! I don't know why I gave him the snooty voice saying it was you, but yeah, it was you, Christoph Gavin, you bitch. You bitch. You little bitch.
Order! 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 What is the meaning of this? Witness? I mean, defendant? Former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this.
Objection!
Go ahead, deny, bitch. It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin.
And impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Objection!
Forehead, are you sure you don't have evidence?
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy.
Evidence. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier, just prove it. Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case.
He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham?
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it.
It can be proven.
Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not...
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice?
I am.
Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Objection!
He's objecting? You're not even part of this, bitch.
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion?
Oh my god.
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove... All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham.
Fuck! Do I have that? I mean, it's the letter, right? It's the letter! There's no other thing but the letter. It's gotta be the letter. It's gotta be that obvious, because I don't have anything else that's, like, ass backwards connected to him. The letter we found inside of his inside of his cell, it connects him directly to Drew because it was in his cell. Let's just do it. This evidence proves there's a link, motherfucker! Yeah, if it's not the letter we write, I agree.
That scrap of paper, I'm afraid I can't let you submit that.
Is there some problem?
There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't.
Hey! That's Daddy's handwriting!
Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remember I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright?
Your Honor, that's clearly addressed to David Chrysler. It proves nothing. I know, right?
When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright is yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera.
What?
He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin. And the contents of your personal mail. Ooh, get fucked, boy.
Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin?
As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied.
Wait, what? What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in the court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice.
Bitch, please. Boy, I'm a... Ooh. Ooh. Boy, I'm a... Ooh.
Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination. But the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well, this ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Nah. Clavier's like, fuck that.
The show is over, and yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin, frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you?
You amuse me, Air Forehead. I couldn't forget. What's really important to me even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally, you just couldn't resist, could you, Air Right?
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence?
Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness.
State your name and occupation. So we never really got why Clavier knew to call this guy in about the forgery. His brother clearly gave him the tip. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times.
Didn't you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared, exactly. How did you know to bring a forger in before the forgery even was presented? I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence, and the next moment you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if...
Almost as if what?
You knew, motherfucker. You knew. Funny. It didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence.
Oh, correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christoph.
Ha ha! What? Unsurprising, and I knew it was all set up from the beginning. We kind of figured that already, even back when it happened when we played the flashback trial. I think I even said that out loud. I was like, clearly this is all a setup, because Clavier was way too prepared for it. Like, even, I think I'm pretty sure I said that. If I didn't, I said something close to that. But yeah, anyway.
It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph, odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time, How did Kristoff know so much?
Prosecutor Gavin.
Kristoff, we were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all of your research on the case.
The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnifi's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin. My, Clavier, you disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest.
You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin.
You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I have achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo! I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough.
7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye.
2 cards. 1 card. Showdown time, motherfucker. Enough. You lose, Gavin.
Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Kristoff Gavin. That untrustworthy fuck.
I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man. He deserved to die for that error alone.
Wow. Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was...
Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramarye both deserved what they got.
So you asked Mr. Bishop to forge that evidence? So you could win? But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap.
You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly.
Wow.
Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly. You're mad, Kristoff. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Kristoff, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What?
He really has been. You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. Absolutely he did. That's why he said he felt like he was always being watched. I had a feeling that once he said that and we really landed on Kristoff being like the one who did the forgery, it made sense that he would be keeping an eye on everybody. Hence the paranoia from all these people. So basically he's reverse Von Karma. Kill a man and act an elaborate conspiracy over a pretty slight. Yeah, something like that. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalist, sure he is being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramarye got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Because he was watching you the whole time.
Wait just a minute. Zach Gramarye was seen by this reporter. How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years?
Well, time to connect it back to the first case. Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramarye, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him! Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler.
I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic.
The details don't really matter right now. Wait, poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. I'm sorry. He remembers it well? You know, I didn't think anything of the Chinese restaurant part, but he did say poisoned, and I was like, he wasn't poisoned. And nor was it a Chinese restaurant. Come on, Judge. I remembered well. Anyway, what matters is that traveler was Zach Gramarye, bitch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, Trucy's going to be like, what is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? She probably did.
Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this?
It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnifi Gramarye's death started it. Magnifi Gramarye's death and his student, Zach Gramarye, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence.
Drew Misham?
Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin?
Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course.
Yeah, you sent the letter to have them die earlier, but they didn't die for a long time. These two know too much.
Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble.
That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers.
Atroquinine, applied to a commemorative stamp.
But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off.
His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp, I see.
But that wasn't the only bomb he set up.
The Ariadone nail polish, of course.
You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she had a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails.
Oh.
That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from the client. The one who wanted that note made. It was his insurance.
Insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside?
If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous, and the nail polish would do the rest.
His time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. The judge, man, those eyes though. He's like, what the fuck?
If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time.
Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said?
Oh, I've listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction.
What?
Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Atroquinine that took Drew Misham's life.
Oh, yeah? What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramarye to keep him from talking.
I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again, if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive.
Okay, then why did you kill him?
I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now.
Huh.
I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here.
No, but you were doing so well, Apollo.
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this court of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Nah. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails?
What?
It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
What? What? I mean, in a way.
Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Your Honor,
Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christoph, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. Yes! Fuck him up, brother. Fuck him up. He's got something for me. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system.
That's right. I totally forgotten. The jurist system, motherfucker!
Jurist, you say? The current traditional judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could be possibly gained by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth-breathers?
Certainly doesn't work when you leave it to some pretentious douchebag forging evidence, dumbass judge-ass having, prick-ass, bullshit-ass prosecuting having ass system ass. Yeah.
Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There is only room for two in this court. Me and the law.
Oh, shit. He's cracking, y'all.
Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's gonna talk shit on the jury, he's not helping his case. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. Ha! Get fucked.
How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright?
Oh shit! He's exploding, y'all! The real boss explosion is coming.
So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. Right! Right!
I can't keep going. Yeah, the boss explosion of a lifetime. Here we go. Looking a little disheveled now there, buddy, aren't you? I've luckily been told this already, but the jury system was coming into Japan at the time, so it was incorporated into this game. Kind of perfect, then. Also, welcome to the stream just in time, X-Gamer. Welcome in.
I won't accept this. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You that ignorant swine, so are your courts? Christoph, it's over.
Did you like that mic peek? You're welcome. I did scream right into the microphone. Sorry.
Clavier. The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is an end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore.
I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. Well, shit. Now what?
I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. The painter Drew Misham, however. Several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
Hell yeah. What do you think, jury? What do you think? What do you think? October 9th, 12:48 p.m. Jurist chambers. Ooh. Do we get to actually meet the jurists? That could be interesting. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she's guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she's innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please wait! Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well. Well, okay then. Wow. Oh, wait, what? I get to choose? The fuck? Also, look who's in the picture. Look who we're looking at here. It's what's her face from the last case. Can you really just choose guilty right now? I don't think she's guilty. Yeah, La Miroir, that's her name. The law is truly in my hands. What's up, RPG fan? Did I say hi? I didn't say hi to you earlier, did I? I mean, I can't imagine that this girl is guilty, so I'm just going to stick with the not guilty. Confirm. Confirm. Wait! You did not just show me that bracelet right now. What the actual fuck? And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, Special Witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before, or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Hell yeah! And she can confirm who the fuck, was the devil, right? October 10th, 10:12 a.m., Hickfield Clinic. Okay, I'm going to say this real quick. If we're done with the game right now, and this is just all wrapping it up and giving us an outro for the end of the game, I will save all my thoughts for the credits. Because, wow. You get a bad ending if you choose guilty there? Okay, fair enough. How dare the verdict be in the hands of people better than me? I know, right? Fuck you. Fuck you, Christoph. Apollo? Apollo's the person talking, yes. Vera, I'm so glad. Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera... Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera. When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. Looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Nice. Ooh, look, it's me. I love it. Thanks. She gonna draw Apollo too? She drew his spikes. Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy. Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look for him. I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean all the DVDs and the grape juice and the piano? I was going to say, this is Phoenix's room, but I guess he brought it all for her so they can keep the same background. You know, they had to give it a story reason, am I right? Anyway, so the moral of the story basically is that poisoning people is beneficial after all. Yeah, exactly. So you poison somebody, it cleanses them of their doubt and their fears, and then they become a better person on the other side, if they survive. That'd be funny if she handed you a bottle of nail polish. Yeah, it would. Also, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Anyway, Mr. Wright finished them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Gramarye, after all.
Okay, then. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know, Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Teehee. Oh, Trucy. Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat.
Objection.
Not loud enough, and I like Ms. Magic Underwear better anyway. That's Magic Panties, Apollo! Oh my god, get it right, dude. Get it fucking right.
These are not the droids you're looking for, General Kenobi.
Yeah, I was told that this is the last game that has 2D sprites, even though these aren't really sprites. These are flat out, colored over animations. But yeah, I heard that after this they started using 3D models. Ace Attorney 4 has the best first case of all time. So you're saying the first case in this game is the best first case in any game? I could see that. Oh yeah, that's true. If I ever play the Edgeworth games, then maybe. I never did play those games. I don't know if I ever will. Unless they remake them or re-release them. That'd be cool. Maybe they will someday. Who knows? Anyway. So, your memories returned. Mr. Wright, was this all part of your plan, too? Wow. Lamiwa had lost all of her memories, so she couldn't remember who she was before a certain point. Wow. I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lamiwa. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That was why you chose me as one of your juries.
Ah, you're thinking too much into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is a happy thing. For so long I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you.
Are you gonna tell them?
They do not know?
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know that they're siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then,
Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Damn. Sad. Your bracelet.
Yes?
I've seen a lot of mysterious things in these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright."
Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are.
It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken, sometimes a life is spared.
You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. For show. Okay. Yeah, the fact that the first... Oh, I should be reading this. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel. Here comes justice!
Objection!
Hell yeah. Kick fucking ass, y'all! We finished Ace Attorney Apollo Justice! Also, we have dialogue at the end.
I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't worry about Troop Grammary. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy.
Trucy Grammary. Frankly, I got my doubts, but Hat Grammary? Now that'll pack 'em in. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you for the congrats. Appreciate it, y'all. Happy to be done with the game. Thank you all for making me play it as the voted game for the year. I know it took me a while to finally get to it, but at least I finally did it, and I had a good time. It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder. That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. No more Gaviners. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. I wonder if we're actually going to have to be against him as a prosecutor again in a future game. Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to do the voices. Don't worry, guys. I'm trying. Going back and forth. But yeah, thank you all for the GGs. I will be playing the next game in the series, Terra, but not right away. We'll get to it eventually. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted, and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again. Gotta have Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney back, y'all. And I know there's people here who were very happy that this won the yearly poll. I know Berserker was excited about it. I mean, we haven't seen him in the chat in so long, and he's here. Obviously, DJ's the one that put it on the poll, so you can thank him for being the one to add it to the poll in the first place. So yeah, there you go. And he's been asking me to play this for years. So I was standing around eating Snackoos the other day
when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch and better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. Probably not. I'm glad we can talk about Snackoos on this final moment with you. I can always play the Edgeworth games on a DS emulator. No, I know that I can. So, we'll talk more about it in a minute, but yeah. This bitch.
In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Da. But if greater challenge is being required,
then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. I forgot what her voice was. It wasn't country, I don't think. But anyway, that bitch. You went well out of your way to be here and watch this Berserker. Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you still feel the need to do so on certain playthroughs. So, yeah. In general, you're glad this trilogy is getting a lot more love nowadays in general? Yeah, this collection is awesome. I look forward to playing the games after this because of this collection. For sure. This fucking lady.
So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its Eastern roots. Yo, boss, culture time.
Oh, this guy. This is how we write root, capiche?
But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time.
He opened his eyes. Oh, God. And this is how we write people, aight?
Not bad. Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Oh, kids.
Fucking Walkie. Hope we get to see him, too. You're welcome for the voice switches. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Bizoi! Chinese characters on cake with a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Believe that. Man, you want to make it today? You got to keep it real, know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker. For real. I know it don't look like no cracker, G. What, you want me to call it the OG muffin? That don't sound dope. That sounds whack as hell, y'all. OG muffin, get out of here. Oh yeah, the noodle guy. I don't know where all this talk about the food is. If you ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend Eldoon's noodles is about the salt? Salt forever. All right, noodle man with your fake ass noodle hair. Oh, this fucking guy again.
My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness and I am the cure.
I probably should have came up with that voice when I first did it, but you know, it hit me there. It just struck me there. That was the one. That was the move. He was so dramatic, you know? Sicko indeed, stealing panties. He a panty thief. What a fucking pervert. Fuck that douchebag. He was a fucking liar. Or at least a very unreliable witness.
I don't know how to thank you for all of you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song.
Yo. Wouldn't Valent recognize her, though? Like, if anyone would recognize her, it would be Valent, right? Obviously, Trucy and Apollo won't recognize her. Or even this guy, right? Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mid-condition. End quote! Wow. Yeah. Alright. Cool ending, bro, for you. Surprised he got to go after the mom. Freaking Lamiwa. She popped in. Maybe we'll get a Valent one, too? Oh, we gotta have her, too.
I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
I think we're definitely going to see this girl again in a future game if her and Trucy become homies. I don't know. It's hard to say for sure. Well, I don't think... Yeah, I think they said she was going to have an eye operation, right, Lamiwa? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they mentioned that she could see again, but they implied that she was having surgery to get that fixed. But all right, guys, we finished Ace Attorney Apollo Justice, a.k.a. Ace Attorney 4, I guess it's well known as. But congratulations, you've unlocked a special bonus in the music and background settings. Sweet. I did it, guys. And... yup. Would you like to continue? Not right now. Not right now. But that is all for Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a hell of a time, man. And I guess the game kind of wrapped up all the things I wanted to talk about anyways. You know, the fact that Lamiwa ended up being their mom. The fact that they're brother and sister and they weren't even really told. Like, they didn't really figure that out. I mean, I thought Apollo would have figured that out from all of the stuff that Phoenix told him. But I guess Phoenix kept that one internal. So he didn't really tell him about that one. But, anyway... I guess the fact that the brother and sister will probably come out in another game, especially if Lamiwa shows back up, their mom, the what's her name? Thamasa? I forgot her name. Thalassa? I forgot her name already. If she returns, and, you know, that whole thing. And I'm assuming in the next game, obviously, I think Phoenix is going to go back into law. I think Phoenix is back to being a lawyer again at some point here. I'm pretty sure he is. Now we know the circumstances of why he quit, and now he can get back to it because his the reason he quit in the first place has been exonerated, I guess is the word. So yeah, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thank you for having this be the poll game. You can all thank DJ for again for adding it to the list. And I already said this once, but I'll say it again. I don't plan on playing these back to back, but I will play the other games at some point. I very much enjoyed this. The voices are very taxing, so my throat, my vocal cords will be very happy to have a break from this game. Very much so. Her name was Thalassa. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, it'll be nice to move on to something else and play something maybe a little bit more gameplay heavy and not just reading heavy. Because while there is gameplay with the figuring out the clues and the puzzle and the cases and the trials, it's more about investigating and just remembering your evidence and presenting it at the right time. More than anything else. It's not really super gameplay heavy. These are just fun to do, and the voices are fun, so I have fun doing these games. It's been a while since I had done a visual novel where I had to do all the voices, so I had fun with it. And thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next playthrough of whatever it's going to be real soon. Peace!